All right, it's like I'm cheating. Fine, I don't know. The reason the nightmare is so much better is because the fear of isolation is picking it up is significantly. What are we doing? Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to be playing the blue-black deck that I've been enjoying playing a lot of. I've made a couple of changes to the list. Nashi is still insane, and Entity Tracker proves today why it is absolutely nuts. I think I probably have the craziest turns with this card that I've had in a very long time, or ever maybe, because I, with this card, was just casting 1 mana, draw a card, but also do a lot of nonsense. Whether that was with a Hopeless Nightmare and then running them all in a row. At one point, I have 4 Bandits talents in a row against a player, which is not fair, especially considering Entity Tracker was drawing me a card off of all of them. And then we had Fear of Isolations going off as well. So I played this deck a couple of times. I'm not going to keep the intro too long here, but the main priority of the deck is just like the Feyblade deck. We have a couple effects that make our opponents discard, and we have a removal spell that are all permanents here. So Hopeless Nightmare enters, makes them discard a card, lose 2 life. We have a Bandit's talent, which makes them typically discard a card. Sometimes people mess it up and discard 2, or they might only have lands and they have to discard 2, in which we upgrade it later to deal damage if they have no cards in hand, which is really nice, along with a Liliana the Veil. Other than that, we use Nowhere to Run as our primary removal resource. There's only 4 of these, but we actually use it as though there's a ton more. Using a Fear of Isolation on cast, picking the Nowhere to Run back up and putting it back in our hand. And with all that said going on, we're trying to use the Entity Tracker, which has Eerie on it. Whenever an enchantment we control enters battlefield or a door is fully unlocked, we draw a card. That part used to not be relevant, but I do play a Bottomless pool instead of the 1 mana instant speed bounce spell without Leyline. It's a little less necessary to be played. The Bottomless pool is an enchantment room that we can play that can on one hand draw us a card, but then we can activate the back end mode to also draw us a card, which I don't think I remembered that was part of this card at one point, now that I'm thinking about it in one of the matches. Other than that, we have Nashi, the new addition that people were begging me to play. Begging is a hard word, but telling me to play regardless. And whenever it deals damage to combat player, we mill that many cards. So most likely it'll deal 2 damage to that player. We'll mill 2 cards. We put any number of legendary and or enchantment cards from among them into our hand. If no cards were put in there that way, we put a 1/1 on Nashi, and then it just does that, but higher. So then the next time it'll hit, we'll mill 3 cards, and then we can put things in here. I drew 3 cards with this one time in the previous video, and I've never looked back. So Nashi is super great for this type of deck, and is pretty much a remove on site, which helps our game plan at discard. So we're not even that upset about it, especially because it clears the way for Entity Tracker to be more dominant. And that's what I've known from Nashi the most so far, is playing it in this deck. A lot of times it gets hit with the Go for the Throat, and then Entity Tracker is fine on that following turn to be flashed and played, and then just causes havoc in there. Other than that, we have spicy little enchantment lands here that can help draw cards off of the tracker. Nashi can also pick this land up as a land drop if it mills it over, and then we have Curiosity that works in a way that if we make contact with the player with a creature, we draw a card for each one that makes contact, which is very nice because oftentimes we are getting them out of the way. And our main game plan is, if we have enough cards in hand and we're getting that card engine online, we're a lot like that mono blue tempo deck that put a lot of auras on one creature and then was just like countering stuff and then drawing cards. But we're a lot like that in a different way, where if we have a tracker online and it's drawing us cards off our spells and we're making our opponent constantly discard, and then we have Curiosity online as well, then it's just pretty much wraps from there. But outside of that, we're going to hop into the games. I hope you all enjoyed them. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Truly helps me out a ton. And let's just move on into the games. My opponent goes first. Okay. We keep, I guess. Like blue-white, maybe Haughty Gem Pile or Absolute Counter. So, sure. Why not? Not really going to fight him on it, I guess. Oh, it's auras. Okay. That's a little tougher. It's definitely a little tougher. If I don't find removal for this pretty quickly, we're going to find ourselves in a really bad spot, I think. But who knows? Ooh, there's the Hall Creep, and it only costs 1. Alright, there's nowhere to run, which is very nice to find. I guess. Oh no, man. I feel like nowhere to run's to play, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's like just go for tracker here. Sure, I'm gonna just let it happen, I guess. I have no idea. I feel like this is a draw card angle, yeah, which I'm fine with, really. Flash this in, you got counterspell or something? Are you just a blue-white player that just can't get away from counterspells? Yeah, I kind of figured. Sometimes you can just sniff them, dude. They're just like so afraid of spells resolving that they're like, nah, dude, I gotta play counterspells. That's okay. You can be that way sometimes. It's just really funny to me. Like, I just knew it was a No More Lies. They're like, I'm gonna play a super aggressive deck, but I have to play No More Lies. I can't do it, bro. Spell Pierce isn't legal, so I have to play it. And instead of playing the blue-white super aggressive deck, they're like, nah, let's flash it in. I don't really care. Yeah, that's fine. I'll play another creature, please. Tough. Nowhere to run. This one. I hate that it's like kind of there permanently, but it has to be, so it is what it is. All right. Do you have anything else? You got stuff? No? All right, cool. Well, let's plus here. Now there's like a angle here where we could just, ooh, well that just tells me what you have. There's no way you discard that if you don't just have a second one. Yeah, let's pass. Turn. I'd like to flash him in. One. Now we're in this weird spot, even more so, right? Lily can minus. Honestly, the Enduring Innocence is the worst thing that's going on for us. And this is why. Ooh. Now. Now, here's a cool part that it's actually kind of funny. We can play this on this side because it's 1 mana, so No More Lies can't counter it. But then we can unlock it later. Right? Which is quite funny. Now we get to plus with Liliana and not have any problems. And then I'll just pass. Hold this for protection. Then honestly probably going to sack this Hopeless Nightmare just for looks. Sure. You think they have a No More Lives in hand? I almost guarantee that they do. Almost guarantee it. Sure. We'll probably minus on that and just get it off the board. As long as they don't have another threat to play, which would be nice. Yeah. Come on, blue-white control mage. I know you got it in you. Second Lily almost seemed fine into this board. Like, I don't think it's the worst card I've ever seen. Especially when considering, like, this is my plan.
Sacrifices must be made.
Now we get to unlock this, and there's nothing they can do about it. Unless they have, obviously, a bounce spell for this, or removal for this guy or something. And they can bring up the Anchorage and hit my Liliana. And then I won't care, because that's why we got a second one. There's a Bandit's talent. Now I get to crush their hand, which is sick. That was the problem before. It's like I need a little bit extra power to get into this hand. And then there's the old-fashioned no more lies coming. Yeah, get in there. Ain't nothing but a thing, brother. Now, they already played a land. Now, would they put a thing on that? No. So, they're holding up no more lies. Why? We know what they're holding up. It's just really funny to me. Go to combat. We're in there. Yeah. We'll draw a card. That's fine with me. On this. Yeah. Hey! You're like, oh no, this guy's gonna play around it way too much. Please let me. We're in their head, dude. They don't know what's going on. They're like, I just got rid of the no more lies. I'm in their head, bro. They don't know what's happening. They're lost. Now the anchorage, like, does it have to come in at the Lily again? Because their hand's going to get interrupted too much. I love when a plan comes together. We put them on that card. They were 100% on the card. And then, yeah, they're going for this. All right, so they're going to go down. Oh, that's a really good card, though. So it's going to get hit. That's fun. That's okay. You're going to make it bigger? Might as well, right? Like, why would you not here? This is also never going to sit there, by the way. I don't think. I think my plan is to bring up the reef and then just, like, go after him. You're going to play a land for turn? Sure. Makes sense. Sure. That's tough. Because, like, bringing up this reef stops him from getting that, which is so good, right? Then I'm just, like, also way more aggressive, but I can also just draw a billion cards. Right? Like, if I play this, they have to attack my Lily again. During does a little bit of nonsense, but then, I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I just do this. It's also, like, pretty close to, like, a lethal thing, right? Yeah, because now they go to 4. So now, like, even just attacking with a land isn't super easy. Yeah, maybe, yeah, I think what I did was the better choice. Got a lot of pieces. If they're slower, I'm going to enjoy this hand. If they're a bit quicker, we're probably just going to get ran out of the building, but that happens pretty often when your opponent's on the play regardless. Don't need more expensive cards. Need to get Nashi in, but we'll do that after Bandit's talent, most likely. Never mind. We'll just play it now. We'll force them to get lost or lay down arms or whatever they're doing. Then we'll work on... Yeah. It's mono white nonsense control. Okay. Let us wait. And then we'll flash in a tracker. Oh. Sweet. And now, I could have waited, I guess. That was kind of a quick pace thing. But they don't have a land in hand, so it's kind of like this weird spot. I almost don't even want to attack, by the way, because I feel like they have a smite in hand. I don't even know what that says. What does that say? When it enters, return enchantment card from graveyard, unlock a door. Okay. I'm going to play around smite. I probably shouldn't, but I have too many card draw lined up that I don't think I should worry any other way. Now I go for this. I think I play this and I go for this. I just take a double draw here and I take a double hit on their hand, and then I attack. They're tapped out, of course. Temporary lockdown. Yeah, it's obviously not going to do much for you here. Fire that off. I don't think I play any annoyance. They're okay with this because if they're gonna board wipe, like, they can, it's just there permanently. That kind of tells us they probably have a Sunfall in hand, so no more committing, I think, unless it's a felony. You can't do that, brother. What are you doing? All right. We're going to take a lot of draws here. Your Enduring Innocence is cute, but we have way more game actions to take, that's for sure. Entity Tracker. We kept his hand on the premise that we thought it was just going to be like a monstrous hand in terms of interacting, and thus far it is. All right. I'm going to keep hitting. I keep taking the hand. That's my hand. Holy cow. Give me your hand, brother. It is my hand. It's like, they're like, what is going on? I don't know, man. I'm going to... Sure, this. I'll take 2 more draws. This is the most cards I've ever drawn in my entire life. I don't know what's going on. I like want to virtue this at this point. I don't want to draw more. You might have a smite. I don't know. At this point, if they have a smite, I guess I lose. I don't... Discard 2 cards. Nashi, I feel like, is going to be a little bit weird, and Virtue's probably weird. Now, you have Land Sunfall. That'd be so sick. What a turn. That was insane. This blue-black version of this deck, I know I've been playing Esper, and I've been pretty proud of Esper, but I think his blue-black version is so sick, and I just can't get away from it. I love it. I love it so much. Ooh. We'll keep. We have a way to turn this on immediately black. Maybe we're discard. Ooh. Only card I know playing this is Golgari from, I believe, Death Manfield was playing this in the Worlds tournament. You know, the tournament that just happened that I was actually at. But, like, sure, take my 3-mana spell. That's fine with me. Hopeless Nightmare. It's changed everything. We're gonna hit their hand. If they're a discard deck, we're gonna match. All right, it's blue black. It's not Golgari. Seth Manfield played Golgari, and I think was runner up for semi wimmies. Could force them to use a removal spell, and then we can always play the hopeless nightmare next turn. Let's play a Nashi here. No cut down. Okay, maybe go for the throat. Maybe some options. We can always try to get Nashi in there, in the deeps, in the trenches, if you would. Oh, all right. He's just in. All right. I'll take it. Let's see if this resolves. All right, just snap resolve. Yes. I'm going to actually wait on this nightmare. I'm just going to play Surveillance. All right, I don't need more of you. I already have another one in the hand as a backup. So now we just get to kind of take peeksies. They've done nothing. Okay. They're better than me. Combat. We're in there. Okay. I will decline that to make Nashi a bit bigger. Now, are we going to get board wiped? Maybe. I have no idea. Let's play this, and then let's go for a Hopeless Nightmare. Set them down to 10, you know? Sure. This blue-black's just hard control, I guess. That's playing Dream and Steel, because, like, this card's actually not that bad right now. Makes sense to me. I bounce this back, and I think the answer is yes. I think they might have a board wipe, so I'm going to pick this back up. I'm going to prioritize trying to win with the Hopeless Nightmare, maybe. I know it's weird to say, and it's kind of awkward to play it out like this, but Nashi's going to do enough work on his own to close out this game, I think. And with the fear, all right, they're scared of the land. That makes sense. We got plenty of lands ourselves. They might have a 2-mana removal spell. Just got to look at 4. Didn't necessarily get to look at a ton. I honestly miss Memory Deluge. I know we all hated it in blue-white control, obviously. But like, wow, do I actually miss Memory Deluge. All right, that hits. I will grab 2 cards. We're gaming. I like. In turn. You can board wipe me. I believe in you. Can I flash in lethal? I think I can. I think I can win this game. Yeah, I can win this game. It doesn't matter. I'll be dead on my target. All right, play this one. Play this one. That's out of my way, and then I'm going to hit for lethal.
Off you go.
Good game. It's definitely tough. So it's weird. They were playing their own variation. They didn't play the worlds, which the worlds is a bit weird if you're playing best of one. So you do kind of have to change it up. I do like Dreams of Steel though. Dreams of Steel has fallen behind for like the rest. But man, if you really think your opponents are just going to all be aggro, I just think the problem that they ran into, they just didn't find any removal. I mean, this hit how many turns? That's the 3rd turn it hit, 4th turn. Yeah, because it or I grabbed and then it milled and then I just didn't grab and then it just got to hit again. So yeah, it hit 3 times. So yeah, it's just a tough game whenever you don't get any interaction. And if you look, they didn't discard any. They just flooded really bad. That's tough. Man, our hand is a little tough, right? But we'll keep. This one. Sure. We have the mana for it, so might as well play to it, right? Okay. If they counter this, it's the same thing, but I get 2 damage, but then they don't have to waste a counter spell. So it's like, are you willing to trade 2 damage for that? Ooh, Flood Pits. Interesting. All right, well, nowhere to run or I lose. No answer to this. It's crazy that sometimes, like, I have this best of 3 feeling sometimes, like where I'm playing right now, and I'm like, dude, honestly, I should just concede. It's over. Like, I shouldn't reveal what I'm playing outside of this. So, like, instinctually, I just, like, wanted to concede. What are you playing here? I'll take one more look, and then I'll just pick him up. Yeah. Yep. I mean, just sometimes Gix will do that, dude. Like, that's why the card's so good. Sometimes you'll just sit down, your opponent will go first, and that'll be their play, and then you lose. I don't know. Tough. Oh, boy. All that hand. I guess it's got to be a Bandit talent. Maybe? I guess it could be that. Maybe it's supposed to be land. Aw. That's why I do land. You'll find another. And you'll find another. That's not how that works. But, alright. So, we have Temur. Temur... I have no idea, to be honest. Could be Temur anything. Could be Domain. Okay. It is Temur, what's her name? Oh boy, why can't I think of her name? Roxanne. Doppelgang, Roxanne, Temur nonsense. They probably have an answer for this tracker, but if the tracker sticks, we already know how many cards this thing can draw, so we have to try to do it. Wait. Play another talent. We'll take a draw. If we can find a Hopeless Nightmare, that'd be much better, but... a fairy to play? Oh no, they were decided. All right, it's like I'm cheating. Fine, I don't know. The reason the nightmare is so much better is because the fear of isolation is picking it up is significantly. What are we doing? Why play anything else? I like. Yeah, I guess I'll also attack you. I only drew 3 cards. Good card. Good card. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, thank God it's not an Atraxa. I don't even want to talk. Like, I don't even want to talk to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just don't have to, like, you just don't want to talk. I'm going for this. It's just like, you know, I don't know. Sure. Full-time explosion can blow up my board, I guess. And I start losing value. That could happen. Ooh. Opting for Roxanne. And this is free, by the way. So it's not like it's not coming in play here. Alright. I think they're like dead, kind of. I actually don't know. Let's Hopeless Nightmare. Take that last card. Game's fair and balanced. You can't change my mind. It's fair and balanced. It's fair and balanced. It's okay. It's fine. Like, no. No, I'm good. That's fine. Now doppelganger. Yeah, fair balanced game. Like, hey, opponent. I know you're playing a slower mid-range late game pile. Do you think you could beat 4 Bandit's talents that you don't play counter spells for? No? Okay. Yes. Seems weird to keep, but definitely snapping this off for sure. I could always surveil. Don't want to do that. Let's hit their hand. The reason I like it is because Bandit's talent can come in. And also, having a lot of lands in our upper typically means that we're probably fine. You get rid of a land because they know Bandit's talent's a card that they'll have to discard to potentially later. Alright, Nashi's pretty good. Nashi's typically fine here to play. But I'd much rather play Bandit's talent next turn and maybe get Nashi to make contact here. They know. You know? You know that this can't be used to activate this? I don't think they did. I think they just learned that. That's really funny, but... And it's talent. Make it awkward. We're in there. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, I think they didn't know that worked that way. And I blocked, so it forced them to do that. Alright, Flame Cash Gecko. Sure. You got another one? Oh, I might just lose regardless. Their hand's crazy. I only got through the fluff. Alright, that's pretty good. I don't have to pay for this. So, we basically need them to tap out again. I need to not die. They need to maybe hit some lands. Although, I guess if they hit lands, they can always play the Thought Stalker, but then it doesn't matter, right? Because then I kind of evade that a bit. Alright. We're down to 10. If they have a Get Lost, we probably lose or cut down. Obviously, that's kind of why we need them to play something. They go for Deep Cavern Bat, which is fine. Deep Cavern Bat takes nothing here because we flash this in response. And now they get to look at a Swamp, which is obviously nothing. And then we get to play a Nowhere to Run, eat the Gev. We might draw like a tap land, so we want to wait here. Fire that off. Or nothing works like that. Bounce land, sure. This is a flyer that I can't necessarily deal with. I'm not even sure that I want to get rid of it. Yeah, I'm going to bounce it. It's just like weird to have a 2/2 flyer. And then we'll opt to use this. Now this could make something bigger, but they don't have the red. I'd rather them not have the cycle, I guess. And we'll pass. Now we have nothing in hand. So if this is the only good card in their hand, it does nothing. And And once again, Entity Tracker plus 1 card is really just causing problem. Oh, lizard again. Okay. I thought maybe we could see a bat, but most likely they only play lizards. Is there a flame caller coming in? Or a Jasper? Yeah, they can't really attack. Valgavoth's Lair is a free draw in this deck. That's another land. Okay. Now I can upgrade this and I can attack. And then that would draw me a card. Is that good enough? Well, they have a deep cavern bat, so I don't really want to draw a card. Let's level here. Let's just level here. And we pass. And then I put a stop on upkeep and we consider sacking this. This is a surveil land. I find a red source. So now they're like, listen, I can pump it. I don't know if they have a buff spell, but I will block. Yes. And they'll just kind of bounce off each other. Do I just draw? No. Even if I were to draw a land and be able to just slam a virtue, I think the answer is wrong. Stink bugs, get out of here, please. Lair would draw a card, but Nashi's also just good. I guess I could do it this way, right? Now I can play a mana. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I play this. We just put it on blue just to kind of diversify a bit. I can play the Nashi. And we pass. Now we have an option. I can just kind of like chump this Hired Claw for a bit, I guess. Like, I'll probably just let it hit me. Because like, this is so good. This only activates off of 1. So if we unlock this, it only counts for 1. Even though I'm kind of surprised about that. Now, if this is a Thought Stalker, that makes sense. Gross. Now it's a little weird. Passing? I will double block. And then they'll kill the tracker, of course. I think. At least that's my guess. I have no idea. Yeah, the tracker's already drawn so many cards that I think then they're like, in my mind, if I was them, I'd be like, that thing is drawing too many cards. I can't beat it. I have to kill it. Now this is obviously cool. Let's surveil. Let's see what's up. A land is actually fine because I'm going to play Liliana here, right? So I guess land's awful. Or, I don't know. I'm just stupid, dude. Leave me alone.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people drop it.
Yeah. Yes, I guess I'll put that in my hand. I don't know. I just played that sequence so bad, but it feels like I'm so ahead that I don't think it mattered. Like, I could have minus, and then they would got a deep cavern bat, but then the draw would happen, and then they can like hit my curiosity. But like, I don't know. It's, the end of the game did not matter, whereas like the mid range did, and nowhere to run just proves to be a stud. Yes, we'll keep this. We'll play Valgavoth's Lair on black, and then we'll play a Verge, so it's blue. Black. X-proof. Mountain. Ooh. Now we get to do the cool thing where we wait and we do nothing, and then we just know where to run that. We could have virtued it, obviously. Sure. This one. Uh-huh. Oh, it feels so weird. I guess, like, might as well just get into life while I can. Now, we can lose this game. Like, this is one of the hands where this matchup's, like, unlosable. But it is losable if I don't draw a land. That is, like, the caveat to that. If I don't draw a land, I can lose. And that's like a way to figure it out. Now we go for the Hopeless Nightmare. Hit their hand, which is already pretty vulnerable because they're so low, and they have a land of what? I'm gonna go for the Nowhere to Run. Monastery Swift Spear is brutal, but like the Challenger is good, giving them free cards. So we're really hoping this turn kind of pans out to Swift Spear, kind of gets buffed, maybe not flung at me for lethal. That'd be kind of cool, but we're hoping it's just like Swift Spear, and then I can play the Liliana and kill it. But oh boy, maybe I just bounce it, fear, and pick up my Nowhere. Yeah, I'm actually okay with that. Or that doesn't work because I have one blue. Cause I'm stupid. I'm throwing, dude. I don't want to talk to nobody. Do this.
When
You.
you're telling me what you your friends have
What is in your hand? I even punted for you. Sure, dude. That was a great time. My mono red opponent just kept 18 cards in hand. I had to be land, right? Like, what else would it have been? Opponent goes first. Black, blue, bounce. Yeah, we're good. We'll keep. Gross. More gross. Yeah, you figure that out. I don't have help for you. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Do this one, because they're going to counter it. They're going to do my cheap one. Honestly, could have just passed and just ate their little dude that they're going to flash in here. But I can always remove that next turn. They don't know about my Nowhere to Run. So, we'll see what happens. Sure. What do you got for me? Unholy Annex. Sure. Alright, this is removable now. Interesting game that we're in. Now, how do I remove it? Do I virtue it, or do I just like go for a banish talent and then bounce this? You just like kind of set them back. I think that's the play. Be wrong. I think I just like make it awkward for him. Like, be like, put that back. Then I just virtue it at some point, or like I know where to run it. Really are gonna have to need cards here. Okay. Sure. Come. Pass. We knew they had a second one, dude. What else would they have? Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah. Now, there's a couple of things that can come in play here. Sweet. That's what we thought they were going to do. So let's flash this in. Oh, I'm getting hit. I have to do this. I'll just give them another card. I'm probably just going to lose this match. Honestly, this is one of the enchantments I thought about playing. But it's like just a weird thing. Nah, it's dead. Sure. Will I be able to get rid of this? I don't think so. It's like Liliana or bust. And I'm down to 6. This is a hard enchantment for me to beat. And that is going to do it, I guess, right? I don't think there's a out I can think of. Yeah, they got it. It is what it is. I'm saying, like, if we get set up sometimes and we just start like bullying them, like, I think we're fine. But we didn't quite get there, and this is one of the cards that, like, I just somehow can't seem to beat. Like, it's just somehow never is enough damage quick enough to beat that card, and I don't know how. All right, we go first. This is our hand. Bandit talent, nowhere to run. Virtue, sure. The more I have Virtue in this deck, the more I hate it, to be honest. Like, it's so fine, but like, how good this is comparatively feels wild to me. Bandit talent. We're in there. I don't know if this is Haughty Gym Pile. It's a pretty bad matchup just because we played their deck for them. Artifacts, okay. Now this could definitely be a no more lies, so we're just pass. Even though Nashi's pretty sick. Anytime we can kind of get this tracker, from what I've noticed in play, it typically is the game breaker, if I had to guess. We're firing it off. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, it's stuck. That's not me surprised. That's you surprised. We knew it was gonna stick. Holy, what a stupid game. Yeah, so to be fair, they are artifacts. There is a synthesizer coming. That card's hard to beat. That card's really hard to beat. They scry one top, one bottom. Now we can do a couple of things here. We can play this. I can play this and then play Nowhere to Run coming up. Or I can bring this up and attack them for 6 and mill the card they left on top up there. That's a lot of options. I have no idea. I'm gonna play Nashi. Nashi. Card's so sick. I love that card. We have Liliana at a minus. There's only like a card I'm afraid of. That's not it. I'll make a construct. Get rid of Nashi, sure. Make a card that's going to be tough for them to beat. It's 2 trackers, because now I'm going to draw 2 cards a turn. Sure, you got him. He's yours. He's yours. You have a hovercraft. You're crafted in the hover. Isn't it weird that I kind of want to minus to see if they bring up the hovercraft, but I also just like want to plus and then nowhere to run them. We'll see what they do.
And you think you can
I have another Lily, so like plussing here with my hand kind of sucks. I'm not a huge fan of it. Now, will you bring up your unidentified hovercraft? I want you to, technically. But if you don't, I get it.
Haven't you ever
They're so smart.
personal space?
We're in there. It's in there. We are in there. You're in there. They are in there. That's a surveillance. Hard card for us to beat. A card that people don't typically play, to be honest. But, no, they're allowed to. I'll allow it. Alright, that's a little tough. That's a big boy. It's a big boy, for sure. Do I actually just, like, play this to, like, I don't know, hit that for whatever? And take a draw too? I guess not. We can always do it this turn. Nice. Let's go for this. That's a double draw. Nowhere to run on that, obviously. That's not even big enough, right? Oh, it's a crew 1? I hate this game, bro. No way. I guess this isn't gonna get any better than drawing me cards here. Okay, there's the out. The Hopeless Nightmare becomes an out just because it can just ping our opponent to death. A lot of times, Hopeless Nightmare is our only out. One of these lilies can probably go, if I had to guess.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Not entirely sure, but I feel like. Fight me. All right, sick. So now this is going to deal 2 when we have lethal next turn. As long as it's not a temporary lockdown. So then I guess we still have lethal, right? Yeah, we still have lethal. The reason why is because we can Fear of Isolation, pick up Hopeless Nightmare, and they have no cards in hand, so these are lethal. Sure. Bandit's talents are lethal on their own.
This isn't how
They
things
need
are
these
supposed to go.
Okay, they didn't even activate them. Okay. Activate here. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you had to activate the maps and at least give yourself a chance, but it still didn't matter because, like, first of all, you have to draw 2 lands. Second of all, honestly, if I knew that they were 2 lands, the change into play would have been, instead of this card, we would just Fear of Isolation, pick this back up, replay it. They have 2 lands, so they have to discard them both, and then activate this again. And then they would be out of cards. But we also could play Lily, minus here, but this is available, so we can't, 'cause they have 2 mana, and that would make a token of it, so then they would have a blocker. We had, like, a lot of ways to win that game at that spot, but we're just thankfully we got them low enough beforehand. All right, I mean, honestly, this deck I have grown more and more in love with over, like, the Esper build that I've been playing, and just, like, the kind of nonsense that I get to do in this deck is just super fun. I think this deck to me is what, like, the Feyblade deck wishes it was. And the only real gripe I have in this deck is, like, Virtue at times convinced me it's good. But immediately in the next game, I'm like, wow, I hate you so much. Like, it's very high and very low emotions on Virtue. And this could be, like, where oftentimes people are like, you know, maybe Virtue should just be like the snake or something. And I wouldn't even mind that. I think the snake's pretty good, especially oftentimes we get them pretty low and we just need, like, a thing. I think it's it's a snake, right? Snake. Yeah, this guy right here, Rotmouth Viper. This guy is super sick. So, like, oftentimes I could see it being replaced with the Virtue. So, like, sideboard this guy. You know the plan. But we put this in here. I could argue that you replace the Virtue with it. The weird part is hard casting. It's also fine because we do play 25 lands because we kind of want to hit them as we're doing stuff because we have, like, this to upgrade. We have these to do. And honestly, more than anything, like, 1 mana, by the way. More than anything, Virtue just seems like this awkward card that just never quite finds the value that I like. And I think maybe substituting it for some cards that I can't answer, or maybe, do we even have enchantment removal in black or blue? I think it's only temporary, right? Unless we, like, counter it. Counter it would be the permanent removal. Do we think the door is good enough? I don't know. What's the door? Do we think this is good enough to play in, like, this spot? Because honestly, a lot of times, as long as we're drawing cards, we can typically grind it out. But the problem is we don't have, like, the life gain, I guess, that deck typically does, at least, or, like, enough demons to just, like, naturally play them. But realistically, as long as we're stalling long enough, we can always just play it on the demon side first and then do the thing. And if the extra cards we're drawing every single turn can't win us the game, then I don't know what's going on, you know? It's just, like, a little bit weird. Also, the best part about Liliana and Unholy Annex is, like, you plus Liliana first and then you draw off of the Unholy Annex. And if you have something like a tracker in play, it would be nice. So this is going into the sideboard suggestion spot too, you know? So we'll figure it out eventually. But overall, I think this deck played well. I really enjoy this card as a card that I enjoy playing in the deck, which is a weird way to say that. But yeah, I've enjoyed Curiosity, even though I don't play a ton of creatures. But the creatures I do play, and counting itself and having flash, oftentimes I just kind of pass, holding up interaction or something like a Nowhere to Run or something, and then just flash this in, which is a nice 4/3 threat. I can then draw because I can always typically clear the way, whether it's with, like, a Nowhere to Run or Liliana or just Virtue, I guess. But outside of that, it's typically just these cards, or maybe even just bouncing it or casting Fear of Isolation and then bouncing one of these and then removing something. The curiosity can draw me a ton of cards, which is nice. And typically, as long as we can get cards flowing, we can't really lose. But oftentimes, we can get to the weird spot where we exhaust all our resources and they're just a bit too quick. So that's the problem. Other than that, I enjoy deck enjoyable, fun time. Deck is fun. So with that said, yeah, here, this is where we're at. This is what we got. I sorted it by commons, uncommons, rares. I guess these are here. You don't really have to play the Valgavoth layers. I guess, like, I play it for the little bit of value that they provide off the tracker. Sometimes just playing it is an uninteractable withdrawal effect because Valgavoth Lair is a land drop, which will automatically trigger the tracker. They can only really Tidebinder that. Tidebinder might be a good card to play. Nah, I don't think so. But other than that, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to call it there. I'm pretty tired. Just getting back from Vegas. Well, not today, but I just kind of got back from Vegas a while ago. And I have the Invitational coming up this weekend, which is a $20,000 tournament. And I'm just kind of I'm getting ran rugged, bro. That's all I know. So I'm going to call it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.